So I've been playing a lot of Pathfinder Kingmaker, and in that game, I've been playing an Alchemist Grenadier, and it got me thinking, how cool would it be to have a Grenadier archetype in City of Heroes? I'm Controlled Chaos, and in this video, I'm going to go over how I would do a Grenadier power set in City Heroes. Now, if any developers of the private servers are listening in, you're more than welcome to take this idea and implement it on to your server. You're happy to do that. All I ask is that I'm given some credit. If you use just the base idea, just say inspired by Controlled Chaos. If you use the full idea, please say created by Controlled Chaos in the design. Now, let's get to the first power. The first power will be called Micro Grenade, and this can use the dagger and the dagger throw animation or the caltrop throw animation. And it would throw out a dagger and it would hit the enemy and it would do 1 point, or it would do a little bit of damage for the impact on there. And then it would explode and it would do its next set of damage. And that's what makes it unique. It's a 2-hit power for your first power. Now, these amounts aren't going to be huge in themselves. It's going to give an overall moderate amount of damage. Now, after that, you want to move over to the Frag Grenade. And when you move over to the Frag Grenade, you're actually going to use the Web Grenade animation. And with the Web Grenade animation, you're going to, instead of it having the web effect go off, you're going to have a regular grenade explosion going off. But I want to do a couple changes in the mechanics, if possible, if the developers can figure it out. The changes I want to make is, one, there's a 5-second delay. So the way this is worked with this 5-second delay is you click and hold, and before the 5 seconds, you let go and throw it. And based on how soon close to that 5 seconds you release determines on when it detonates. If you do not release within that 5 seconds, that grenade goes off on you, causing some consequences and damage to you. Once again, moderate damage, and it would also affect any of the allies around you. However, if you throw it and time it right, when it hits the opponent, it's going to once again do that light damage for the impact, and then moderate damage for the explosion, along with moderate damage to 3 to 5 enemies around them that are close by. And this would be really cool because you could throw it right away and hit them, and then it would hit the ground. And then 5 seconds later, it would explode. But with this mechanic, I want to take it a step further. I want to add in some random variant rolls. If they succeed completely in the roll, they run away. They run from the grenade, which means that they stop whatever action they're taking. If they're going to attack or whatever, they're running away from where that grenade landed. They're trying to get out of the blast. The second one is they completely ignore it and they continue whatever action they're doing, and then it just goes off in that 5 seconds. The third state is using the fear state, where it hits them, they don't know what to do, they're confused, they're freaking out, and they're just saying they're unable to do anything, worrying about that explosion. I think that would be a really cool mechanic for this. However, if they cannot get the timing in on that, for being able to press and hold for the 5 seconds to get the timing right, then use the regular grenade explosion when it hits. Do the light damage, and then do the moderate damage. Area of effect for the moderate damage. The next one I want to talk about is the poison grenade. The poison grenade will use the same animation as the web grenade, what I have up now. But it's going to use a poison particle effect. This will do the light damage when it hits the one enemy that you have targeted, and then when the poison goes off, it does a dot over time, a light dot over time for a certain amount of time. And I think that would be really, really cool. Once again, holding to the same mechanics as the frag grenade for being able to hold and the whole entire fear response thing. Now, I want to add a slight heal to this character. So I'm going to do a heal grenade. And this is really cool because if you're grouped up with a bunch of scrappers, tankers, brutes, or any melee class, you can literally chuck that grenade at the enemy, and because your allies are all near them, when that heal grenade goes off, it heals all of your allies for a moderate amount. The next one I want to talk about is the multi-micro grenades. This one can use the animation like shown here from Short Circuit. Not the particle effects, but just the animation where they spread out their arms and they're throwing out a bunch of the micro grenades from the first power. And this is going to hit, once again, 3 to 5. It's going to do light damage on the impact and then light damage on the explosion to that one target because it's a micro grenade. It's not going to hit an area of effect. Then the next one is the radiation grenade. I was thinking they could use the animation from Neutron Bomb under Radiation Blast. And they basically just pull out this nice sized grenade that's a little too big for one hand. So they use both hands and chuck it at the enemy. And when it hits, it does the radiation blast from Neutron Bomb. This one would do moderate damage to, once again, an area, but it lower the defense of all of the enemies that it hit. And then you can also, if you want, put in that whole entire click hold timing system that I talked about with the frag grenade. Would be really awesome. The next one would be Scatter Blast. And the animation I think would look great for this is using the animation from the Storm Blast Cloudburst, where they basically pull back, do a bit of a wind up, and then toss. And what this grenade will do is it will hit the target doing a light damage, and then it will scatter out a bunch of shards of daggers or caltrops. And what this would do is it would cause moderate damage to all those enemies, or no, let's change that. Not moderate damage, light damage with a bleed to it, which would be really, really awesome. The next power is going to be a Thermite grenade. As you can see here, I'm using Ice Blast as the animation. What this does is this throws a grenade. It's going to hit the target. When it hits the target, it's immediately going to burst. So it's going to hit the target, do light damage. Then it's going to burst. It's going to do a moderate amount of damage with a moderate dot over time to everyone that is in the area of effect, the normal area of effect of a frag grenade. The difference is that these guys will stay on fire as they run around and move around. Any other enemies they come in contact will then catch on fire and will do the moderate dot to them, and so on and so forth. And I think that would be really cool until a certain amount of time runs out. I would say maybe like 30 seconds. 30 seconds to a minute is good. The final ability is you get a Mortar Drone. So think of your acid mortar that you get in traps, but instead this shoots out frag grenades. Or it can shoot out poison grenades, or it can shoot out pretty much any of the grenades except for the thermite grenade. So with that being said, you can select what grenades it shoots out for the different situations you want. It has the same health that the combat drone has, the same duration that it's out. It would just be a platform with the hovering jets and mortar on top of it that just shoots out mortars at the enemy, and it follows you around because the current acid mortar doesn't follow you around. It's stationary. This mortar would actually follow you around, giving it more utility to the Grenadier. I think this would be a really cool power set to have for your blasters, your sentinels, your guardian, your defender, corruptors, things like that would be awesome. Let me know what you think of this power set in the comments down below, and have a great day.